Giving all honor and praise to the Most High and Son Yahweh Shai. We got a battle axe of the Most High coming to you on another Wednesday class to get edified in the Most High God's name. The name of the class is called Flee from Idolatry, Christmas Version. You know, a lot of rules gonna be pretty much going in Christmas probably this weekend because due to the Sabbath day falls on Christmas. So while they're gonna be at the house eating their turkey and dressing and messing, whatever they're doing, they're gonna be pretty much celebrating their holiday. I mean, they holiday, but we're gonna be celebrating our high holy day. So we'll kind of get into this idolatry and where did it come from, and also we'll go into this Christmas thing. First precept we go into here, everybody should already know this precept. Jeremiah chapter 10. Start from the top. This scripture right here should furthermore let people know what that Christ's birthday is not. Christmas is not celebrating Christ's birthday if it's in Jeremiah, because Jeremiah was what before Christ. So that's a clear cut right there. But we're gonna also get into Christ's birthday too during the class. So get a little notion what's to come. So when we get there, let's read.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you.
Read.
O house of Israel.
Who we call out?
O house of Israel.
So guess what? This is not talking about all nations, but even in this society, guess what? All nations they don't supposed to be celebrating no day holidays and stuff like that. That's paganism. The Most High God never ordained anybody to do any of these holidays. And what they did, they set up they holidays and they do these things. Just like in Christmas, just like in Thanksgiving. But you know Christmas is one of the most paganist holidays. Why? Because they celebrate it all over the world. We don't know.
Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
He tells us don't learn the way of the heathens, man. Read.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. For the heathen are dismayed at them.
And this is how the heathen is, man. That's why you got the zodiac sign. Because guess what? Believe it or not, it's people in Israel still thinking about their zodiac sign. Oh, I'm a Capricorn, I'm a Libra, I'm a whatever they call it. Gemini, whatever. They call themselves all of these things, man. The heathen, they are dismayed at these things, man. Let's go get some on that, though. Let's go to Wisdom and Solomon, chapter 14, right quick. Hold your precept in Jeremiah, because we're going back. Wisdom and Solomon, chapter 14, and verse 11.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, and verse 11.
Let me get that with y'all. God. Your swizzle on extra fast. You know what I'm saying? Read this.
So the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 14, and verse 11.
Read.
Therefore, even upon the idols of the Gentiles
read.
Shall there be a visitation, because in the creature of God they are becoming abomination.
That's why he told us not to learn the ways of the heathens. Because the idols of the Gentiles, guess what? This is going to the idolatry of the Gentiles. Guess what? This becoming an abomination to us, man. Guess what? All the days that they celebrate, all these things is abomination to our people, man. Read on.
And stumbling blocks to the souls of men.
And these things becoming stumbling blocks into the soul. The souls of men are going into the Israelites, man. Read on now.
And a snare to the feet of the unwise.
And it is a snare to us. Why is it a snare to us? Because it's the person that's unlearned, man. We done went so far out the way, and we've been so unlearned for so long to the point that we can just fall for anything now. Now we tell people, get the vaccine. The vaccine is good. No, the vaccine ain't good. Celebrate your birthday. No, that ain't good. Everything, when we first started, I remember as a little child, we first started out with the prayer was at the school. But now, the prayer ain't at the school no more. You think about and like I was looking at the country of China today and examining them and going through some of the history about them, guess what they do? They do Buddha in their country. All the men, they say, what, 60% of the men over there are homosexual. They have no God in that land. They don't know God. They choose not to know God. And guess what? You just look at the structure of them. They have the man they got their hair on their face. They can hardly grow hair on their face. Look at the women. They ain't got no hair on their face too. Guess what? So guess what? It's no difference. Look, I was like, dang, I just never realized that they really don't have hair on their face like that. I never really realized it. But guess what? That's not to say that the man is the woman. No, they make themselves as the woman. That's the same thing we do right here. You want to do everything we see them do, all the men over here. We want to do the same thing. Like I say, you watch the TV, the woman kiss our women, kiss a white man. Guess what? Our men kiss a white man. Same thing you see on TV, man. It's the most disgusting thing in the world. Read verse 12, huh?
Verse 12. For the devising of idols was the beginning of spiritual fornication.
So this is the first time, this is the beginning of the spiritual fornication that we had against the Most High. Seeing what the other nations was doing, and we want to do this so bad, man. It's something that we wish we can tell our family to get the hell away from, but you know our family, just like I don't give a damn. I know my family probably watching this class right now, yeah. My wicked ass brothers and sisters going over there, they want to celebrate their Christmas on the beach. And I hope the Most High God send a tornado through there too. Give a damn about how you feel. That's just how it is, man. No, I ain't no pity for them. I don't give a damn family member, mama, daddy, brother, sister. It does not matter. When you go against the Most High God, it's just what it is. We don't.
And the invention of them, the corruption of
I
life.
said, and the invention of them is the corruption of life, man. Jump down to verse 27.
Verse 27. For the worshiping of idols not to be named is the beginning, the cause, and the end of all evil.
This is what the evil came in the world about, man. And this is what the Most High God got mad at us about for trying to doing these things. So guess what, man? So anybody that want to keep on going into the idolatry, guess what, man? You can't be with that, man. Guess what, man? And I'm not trying to say, you know, I don't wish bad on nobody, but guess what? If the Most High God can stop something from happening, guess what? Let's stop it from happening. We got to be able to start getting our mind wrapped around, because when Christ come back, man, look, it's gonna be a lot of bloodshed, man. It's gonna be a lot of people it's not gonna be around. The people that you like, dang, that was a good dude, man. Man, guess what, man? That was a brother from another mother, man. Dang, that was a sister from another mister. Yeah. And they ain't worth a damn though when the Most High God sent His Son back up. We don't know.
Verse 28. For either they are mad when they be married.
You say either they are mad when they be married, read.
Or prophesy lies. Or live unjustly.
Read.
Or else lightly forswear themselves.
And they forswear themselves, man. Verse 29.
Verse 29. For in so much as their trust is in idols.
Because this is what their trust is in. Their trust is in idols. This is what a lot of our people do. They trust in idols, man. People, we so used to trusting in what we see. We see it like, dang, we love that. I like that. I like how y'all, because the Most High God allowed them to do this. So now we think we can do it too because He allowed them to do it. We trusting in what they doing. But the Lord already gave us straight commandments, man. We don't.
Which have no life.
Which what?
Which have no life.
Which have no life, man. We gonna get into that because that's going into the tree. We don't.
Though they swear falsely.
Though they swear falsely, read.
Yet they look not to be hurt.
Yeah, they look not to be hurt, man. Guess what, man? It don't look like it's hurt. And it don't look like it's, that's what that Christmas tree don't look like it's hurt nobody either. It's sitting up in the house. I got a Christmas tree. That Christmas tree ain't hurt nobody. That's what Mama said. Christmas tree ain't hurt nobody. No, it ain't hurt nobody, Mama, but it represents the wrong thing, though. That's not representing the Most High. He never told us to do that. Let's go back to Jeremiah chapter 10, man.
And like I said, let me get a precept real quick. Like I said, when Christ come back, He's gonna totally abolish these things. Give me Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 17.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 2, and verse 17.
Let's see if brothers and sisters gonna still have these idols when Christ step on the scene. Read this out.
And the loftiness of man shall be bowed down, and the haughtiness of man shall be made low. And the Lord alone shall be exalted in that day.
Because when Christ step on the scene, guess what? He alone is going to be exalted. Read on up.
And the idols he shall utterly abolish.
Read that again, out.
And the idols he shall utterly abolish.
So they always want to attribute Christ with Christmas, but in that day, guess what? People going to be trying to hide them Christmas trees, man. Because just imagine Christ catching you with a Christmas tree in their house, man. Guess what? He going to burn you in that Christmas tree down. Read on up.
Verse 19. And they shall go into the holes of the rocks.
Read that again, out.
And they shall go into the holes of the rocks.
This is going into all the nations, even amongst our people that's trying to worship these idols and so forth. They're going to go into hiding. Read on up.
And into the caves of the earth. For fear of the Lord.
For what up?
For fear of the Lord.
Read on up.
And for the glory of his majesty. When he arises to shake terribly the earth.
Because when he come on the scene, he going to arise and shake terribly this earth, man. All these crosses, Christmas trees, all these things that our people worship by the hands of men's hands. Guess what? These things are going to be thrown down. That big statue in Brazil with Sibo standing up, that thing is coming down. All these idols are coming down, brothers and sisters. Read on.
In that day, a man shall cast his idols of silver and his idols of gold.
So that's what they're going to be doing in this day. Guess what? They're going to be trying to get rid of these things, man. May have a whole gold Buddha statue, but guess what? When they know Christ is on the scene, they're going to be trying to get rid of that thing, man. Read on up.
Which they made each one of themselves to worship, to the moles and to the backs.
And to the back. So all these things are going to be cast out when the Most High God sends Christ back. Go ahead, Op.
Be con on that. Be con on it. Matter of fact, now, I don't know if I want to touch this one. I would lose. I don't know if I want to touch it. I ain't gonna touch it yet. I might go into that though a little later, depending on how much time we got. Let's go back to Jeremiah chapter 10.
No, pretty right.
Yeah. Because I really want to touch on that. But we'll touch on it after Christmas tree. I don't want to forget about it because it's something that we're supposed to do with the gold too. You know, when the Most High God give us gold and silver, we have things that we supposed to do with gold and silver. We never was supposed to do those things that man wanted us to do. You know, the Most High God, that's why with us he made us holy and separate. Read that Jeremiah chapter 10.
It's the book of Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 3. Mm-hmm. For the custom of the people are vain.
He said the custom that the heathens do, they vain, man. Read.
For one cutteth a tree out of the forest.
Read on.
The work of the hands of the workman. With the axe.
And guess what? He said one cutteth y'all, and you can't, boy. And you know, sometimes when you read this thing to mama, boy, and mama can't take this. Mm-hmm. She cannot take that. This is literally in the Bible. Well, guess what? You tell her that, and guess what she trying to say? Well, it's for the kids. Guess what? It ain't even for the kids, cause mama kids is the baby goat. You want to be technical. Well, it's for the children. No, it ain't for the children because you be passing them through the fire. You can't. You can try to step yourself around this thing to try to see if you can't do it.
That's right. And how else are we gonna break the lies, man? It got to start somewhere. Like we say, a lot of times brothers and sisters make excuses for these things, and it does what? It get kicked down the road years later. And you guess what? You never stop the lie that's perpetrated, man. So, hey, who gonna be the bigger person, man? Who gonna stand up for the Lord, man? And like we say, do what the Bible is actually saying. Like Ak is going over. Go ahead, Ak.
Read on, Ak.
Verse 4. They deck it with silver and gold.
And it said they deck this thing with silver and with gold, man. Read.
They fasten it with nails and with hammers that it not move.
Hey, man, if that's not...
read that right.
Go ahead, yeah, read it right, Ak.
They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers that it move not.
Shalaka did it move not. So if that's not describing the Christmas tree, well, I'm trying to tell you, our people, well, that ain't saying we couldn't celebrate it. I said, well, then we tell them, well, let's jump back up and read it in context and see if we say it again. It tell us none like the ways of the heathens, man. And it said choose none of their ways. Then it tell us that Well, what if I don't put the Christmas tree in my house? Can I just still celebrate it? No. No. It does not make it right. You cannot celebrate those things, man. Go to Baruch.
Like I say, is they one and the same. Christmas tree is anonymous for presents and so forth.
Real,
So
man.
you can't literally have one without the other.
Real.
And that's just Negroes and Latinos trying to be slick, man. Thinking they always can one up the Most High God, man. Like they just gonna outthink him or outgame the Most High. Man, we got to stop with the games, man. He invented game.
For real, man. Sit your butt down with them, man. They build a Christmas tree. They deck it with silver and gold. Read Baruch chapter 6 and verse 27.
This is the book of Baruch.
Yeah.
It's the book of Baruch, chapter 6 and verse 27. They also that serve them are ashamed. For if they fall to the ground at any time,
He said, but if they fall to the ground at any time, read.
they cannot rise up again of themselves.
This is going to the tree. If they can fall, they fall down at any time. Can they rise up again themselves? No. They can't rise up again unless you put it back up, man. Read on.
Neither, if one set them upright,
Neither if you set it up right, read.
can they move of themselves.
Can they move of themselves? Read.
Neither, if they be bowed down,
Mm-hmm.
can they make themselves straight.
So if they be bowed down, can they make themselves straight? Hell no, man. Read.
But they set gifts before them.
What do they do?
But they set gifts before
They
them.
set the damn old gift before this dang on Christmas tree, man. This is what they do. They set gifts before them, man. And guess what? I should be running in the room. Man, mama ain't put no Christmas tree, no presents under there yet. 23rd. Man, 2 days before Christmas, you call your homeboy, man, damn, man, they put no toys up under there. When you get up that Christmas morning, boy, she got that good old bike out there up under that tree. Boy, daddy don't know, daddy's sitting in the room, he got blisters all over his body, boy, trying to get them presents, man. Working his ass off trying to get you these presents, man. Just for you to go in there and destroy them presents in 2 minutes.
Or to even think that it's the so-called red man that actually gave you the gifts.
Oh, yeah,
That negate all the hard work your daddy put in, all the overtime mama done put in, because they have programmed now people. Don't think Esau is, man, hey, they be on top of this type of stuff, man. They have contingency plan. Even for that, they still doing what? Getting the glory even in that. Because they thinking that the so-called red man is the one giving them all these gifts and so forth. And those things are polluting the minds of our people.
And just like I say, they rather give a glory to a Santa Claus just to take the glory out of the home of the person that's giving the gift, man. We gave it to y'all. No, Santa Claus gave it to you. Dang, Mama, can we go to the store and buy some cookies and milk for Santa Claus?
For real.
Well, I'm talking about any damn thing, man. Anything, man. I know a lot of brothers and sisters that's been in this truth year, 2 years. Y'all should have these precepts lined up in y'all precept book, man. John chapter 10, verse 1, man. Y'all should have these precepts lined. I'm talking about, man, guess what? On the Sabbath day, brothers should be having, I'm talking about, they should have a 50-round drum of precepts in their Bible, man. They should be able to go to, man. I'm talking about should be able to line these people up out there on the street, man. Read that out.
This is the book of St. John, chapter 10 and verse 1.
Read.
Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold,
He said, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but read on.
but climbeth up some other way,
So guess what? That's the same thing they say Santa Claus do. They climb up some other way. Read.
the same as a thief and a robber.
So guess what? That man that's telling you that's climbing up some other way is a thief and a robber. You can't get around that, man. You can't get around that, man. These scriptures, guess what, man? This right here is the example of two examples of things that the Most High God is against. He's against the Christmas tree, and he's against whoever's climbing up some other way than coming through your damn door. He's telling you two things that he's against. He said that man is a thief and a robber. And how we know it's a thief and a robber? Because guess what? When a person don't come through your front door, 9 times out of 10, that's what they is a thief and a robber.
And what are they really stealing? They really stealing what? Your spirituality. They actually, guess what, stealing your spirit. Because those things does nothing. Guess what? Makes you closer and closer to the lake of fire. That's all that that's really going into. Go ahead up.
Read on.
Verse 2. But he that entered in by the door is the shepherd of the sheep.
So guess what? Now this is going in the difference between Santa Claus and the local Pookie, the robber, and Christ. That's the difference. Because guess what? Santa Claus and Pookie, the robber, guess what? They the same, like one and the same. They ain't gonna never come to the front door. Guess what? And you know Santa got to be a thief and a robber, because if you look at the movies, guess what? Santa always catch you while you sleep. That's what thieves and robbers do. They catch you while you sleep, man. They gonna get up in your house while you sleep. Guess what? You be shooting up through the room. Guess what? Like just like on Boys in the Hood, where he had them 2 holes in the door, boy, big holes in the door. Boy, I be trying to knock his noodles out. But when he coming through the door, guess what? That's the shepherd. That's going into Christ, man. He's that shepherd, man.
And like Agedon pointed out, man, they was worshiping this stuff during the time of the Babylonian captivity. Like we say, it goes back even further than that. When you read books like the 2 Babylons, those are books that brothers and sisters need to be trying to get to. Like we say, it's too. Give me that. Give me Daniel. You finish that? No. Go ahead. I'm gonna get that out.
No, that's it. Go ahead.
Give me that in the book of Daniel, chapter 10. Chapter 12, so like 12 and verse 4.
This is the book of Daniel, chapter 12 and verse 4. But thou, O Daniel, shut up thy words. So like verse 4. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book.
Meaning block the understanding of the Bible. Read on.
Even to the time of the end.
Now this thing is being unlocked. That's how we know we're at the time of the end. Read on up.
Many shall run to and fro. And knowledge shall be increased.
That's the part I want to focus on, because it's too much knowledge out here for you to still be caught up not knowing the history of Christmas. You can literally go to your phone, because knowledge is increased at the touch time. If you're so lazy, you can just use voice command and just pull up history of Christmas. And they'll literally show you that it's pagan in origin. It's literally showing you during the time of King Nimrod where this tradition started. So it's no reason why brothers and sisters have to still just be ignorant in this time of day, man. It's too much knowledge that's out there, man. Too much knowledge. Go ahead, Doc.
And that's definitely right, man. It's way too much knowledge sitting on the table for brothers to be still in a docile state, man. But like that's what Paul was trying to warn us. That's why he was telling us it's high time to wake up out of sleep, man. Because why? Because the time is nearer than we believe, man. Man, it could be any day, man, like the Most High God said, but you better pray that your flight will not be in the winter, man. Or on the Sabbath day, man. We got to pray for these things, man. Because guess what, man? It's warm out here right now, boy. We already know how Texas weather's been going, man. It's about to be 11 degrees tomorrow, boy. Be out there freezing like a mug. Go back to Jeremiah chapter 10, man, verse 5.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10 and verse 5. They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not.
But speak not, read.
They must needs to be born.
Nothing that needs to be born is going like to be carried. And we know this going in to be carried because, what's that, Baruch? 6 is that 6? Baruch chapter 6 and verse. Go to Baruch chapter 6 and verse 4 right there.
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 6 and verse 4.
26 cents,
Now shall ye see in Babylon gods of silver,
read.
and of gold, and of wood, borne up shoulders.
Now read that right up.
Born upon shoulders.
Born upon shoulders. That means carried upon shoulders. So that born is going into being carried. Just like the Christmas tree, it needs to be carried into your house because they can't never walk into your house unless you bring them in there, man. That's why I say they must need to be carried into your house because they can never get there unless you did it. So when you put it in your house, that means you're in full agreement that that's what you're trying to do. So it ain't no going around in circles. No, this is exactly what you was trying to do in the first place, man. Go back to Jeremiah 10 and 5.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 5, from the top.
Mm-hmm.
They are upright as the palm tree.
They are upright as the palm tree, read.
But speak not.
They can't speak, man, read.
They must need to be born.
Uh-huh.
Because they cannot go.
He said because they can't go. So guess what? It no matter if they're a Christmas tree, wherever that you get a Christmas tree from, guess what? And you put it in your house, that means you're in a full agreement with this because why? They can't get in your house unless you bring them into your house, man. They can't say, here, hey, sis, can you take me home with you? You can deck me real good. Guess what? Mama ain't gonna care, and the children gonna think I'm real pretty if you take me home. They not gonna talk like this. They not gonna have smooth words like Esau. They just you gonna have to say, ooh, that's a pretty tree. And I really like that tree. Baby, do you like that tree too? Baby like, I don't care.
And they saying these things, like I say, it goes back to that book. I wish I had that book too, to bring out those key points. The Most High God is saying that because it was told that if you didn't have a Christmas tree up in your house during the time of Nimrod and all the way up unto the Babylonian kingdom, that Nimrod will come in and disturb your peace. Or if you didn't put presents up under the Christmas tree, his spirit will come back to kill you. So that's why the Most High God is going over these things like it's just a Christmas tree. It can't neither do harm nor can it do good. They're not talking to you. It can do no harm. But that was the things that was known back then about that. So that's why the Most High God put that in there.
Because like you say, and in verse 5, at the end of verse 5, it explains exactly what Benaniah is talking about. Read it.
Be not afraid of them.
That's what he say.
Be not afraid of
That's
them.
why he telling you about this Christmas tree. He said, look about Nimrod's spirit. Be not afraid of them, man. Read.
For they cannot do evil. Neither also is it in them to do good.
Because it's not even do good or evil. They can't do nothing. It's just a dumb tree. I want to put the A in it where because that's how you feel sometimes, especially when you're dealing with your people, man. Like, and they love it, man. This is something our people love. Go back to Baruch chapter 6, man. Start at verse 50.
The book of Baruch, chapter 6, and verse 50. For sin, they be but of wood.
I said, but sin, they be but of wood, man. Read.
And overlaid with silver and gold.
And it's overlaid with silver and gold, man. Read.
It shall be known hereafter that they are false.
And guess what? It said it's going to be known hereafter that they are false, man. Read on.
And it shall manifestly appear to all nations and kings that they are no God.
Because guess what? Just like how Christmas is celebrated all over the world, it's going to be known to everybody that guess what? This is not the real thing. It's going to be known, man. Read.
But the works of men's hands.
It's all it is. That's the works of men's hands, man. Read.
And that there is no work of God in them.
It ain't no work of God in them, man. Going into the cross, going into all these idolatries, man.
Going into Christ's birthday.
Man.
I mean, that stuff just total madness, man.
Read on, Lord.
Verse 52. Who then may not know that they are no gods?
So who then may not know that they are no gods, man? Read.
For neither can they set up a king in the land.
Because guess what, man? They can't set up no king. Man, these idols can't set up no king in the land. Read.
Nor give rain unto men.
And they can't even give no rain into men. So why are we thinking that these things is so good for us, man? Read on.
Neither can they judge their own cause.
They can't judge their own cause. Read.
Nor redress a wrong.
And they can't retract a wrong. Read.
Being unable.
Being unable. Read on, Doc.
For they are as crows between heaven and earth.
That's all they is. Just a crow between heaven and earth, man. It ain't for nothing. Verse 55, Doc.
55. Whereupon, when fire falleth upon the house of gods of wood.
So he said, but fire fall upon the house of fire of God of wood, right? Say that this mud just catch on fire, right? Read.
Or laid over with gold or silver. Their priest will flee away.
Guess what? If it catch on fire, the priest, he can flee away. Well, read on.
And escape. But they themselves shall be burned asunder like beams.
Guess what? But they themselves going to be burned asunder just like the rest of the house. They can't flee. Yeah. Christmas tree catch on fire, guess what? You can run. Guess what? Christmas tree going to set your whole house on fire. That's just what it is.
And that thing is no coincidence that those things happen a lot. It's no coincidence. The more really you try to make that Christmas tree, the faster that thing gonna burn up in that house, man. Because like even I was going into in the book of Jeremiah, it was the palm tree, but now it's what? It's the evergreen tree today. Go ahead, Doc.
Become, man. Read on.
Verse 56. Moreover, they cannot withstand any king or enemies.
Mm-hmm.
How can it then be thought or said that they be gods?
So how could you even consider these things, man? If they guess what, man? But the Most High God has a problem with this thing, though. This is the point. The Most High, our God has a problem with these things, man. Read on.
Neither are those gods of wood and laid over with silver and gold able to escape either from thieves or robbers.
They can't even, guess what? If a thief or robber come up under there, man, they stole all my Christmas presents. So they stole the tree too. Guess what? What's his name? Ricky Smiley got whooped with the tree. Yeah, this was straight whooped with the tree. That's what, man. These things were not though. They can't move. They can't do nothing, man. But if we bring them in our house and we try to keep these traditions, guess what, man? These things is making us just as guilty as the ones that's doing these things. It's all the heathen that's doing it that make us just as guilty, man. That's why we don't be partakers in these things, man.
I'm going to tell y'all, because I know I might touch on it. Even with the book with Bel and the Dragon, that's a good book to read, to go into idols and see how forefather Daniel covered on those things, man. Go ahead. That thing is a good read, man.
It is. They need to get that Bel and the Dragon. That's a real good read, man. 3 Holy Children. All them books, man. Them some real. Them like short little stories, but them some real good reads. Like I was going into, man. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13 and verse 1. Yeah, all these things be real good reads, man. Because the contrary to popular belief, guess what, man? The Apocrypha is part of the Bible. So when you say you read the Bible, guess what? This is part of it, man. Open these things up, man, and hey, get some understanding about it, man. Just like you think the Baruch was the scribe of Jeremiah. Ezra is first and second Ezra is Ezra. Songs of Solomon. This is Wisdom of Solomon. This is solemn wisdom. It's talking about the wisdom Solomon had. These is literally books. These is little books. Even the Maccabean period. Guess what, man? Throughout society, guess what? They can try to debunk saying that this apocrypha is not in the Bible, but you cannot debunk. You can try to debunk, but you can't debunk history because guess what? The Maccabean revolt is literally a revolt. And what was that revolt from? Because guess what, man? He had to fight against the heathens, man. You can check anybody's history. You go to any country history, it's still the Maccabean revolt, and they did it, man. And it was our forefathers that got down, man. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13 and verse 1.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13 and verse 1. Surely, vain are all men by nature.
Read.
Who are ignorant of God.
He says, because guess what? When you be ignorant of God, it lets you know that you are a vain man or woman, man. Read.
And could not out of the good things that are seen known him that is.
Read.
Neither by considering the works did they acknowledge the workers, the workmaster.
The workmaster, because guess what? We give so much into these idols, going into Christmas, going into these crosses, going into even the people in religion. We don't really think about the real workmaster. Guess what? If what you call it, the people that do this making
Artificers.
No, the people that's making the jewelry for all the rappers, what you call it? They go to icebox or whatever, the jewelers and all them. Right. Guess what, man? If they did some good stuff, how you think the Most High God feel all the good stuff that He do, man? Watch what the scripture say, man. Read on.
Verse 2. But deem either fire or wind or the swift air.
Read.
Or the circle of the stars.
So, but guess what? So you drawing a star like this, like a cowboy star. That's a wrong star because the star is a circle. Man. The scripture say, hey, I ain't make that up. Star ain't got 5 points. Star is a circle. Right. So the scripture say, hey, tell the God, Most High God, He alive. So cowboys, you got it wrong. Guess what? It is what it is.
Fight come with it.
Fight come with it.
Cowboy fans, boy.
Read on.
Or the violent water, or the lights of heaven,
Read.
to be the gods which govern the world.
That's why he tell us don't be dismayed at the signs of heaven, man. Why? Because guess what? We got lights in the world, and we got all these things. Swift wind. Man can't do these things. This he's talking about. We don't consider the work master. This is what the work master do, man. It's showing us what the work master do. But guess what? You have people worshiping the stars, worshiping the moon, worshiping the sun gods. Man, this is total madness, man. God or Ra, all these things is off in a mug, man.
Let me get a precept real quick.
Go ahead, Doc.
Give me Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 25. We pull this a lot, man. After. Because this is what you should be doing with these idols and so forth, man. I would say new brothers and sisters that's coming into this truth, the graven images that you once had, Most High God is commanding us on how to deal with those things. You get there, read that out.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 7 and verse 25. The graven images of their gods shall ye burn with fire.
Read that again,
The graven images of their gods shall ye burn with fire.
It says the graven images of their gods shall ye burn with fire. That's also going into what? Their idols as well. The Jesus pieces, these crosses, these paintings of Sibo, that's all up. These Christmas trees, all this thing is going into idolatry. Read on.
Thou shalt not desire the silver or gold that is on them.
Read on, not.
Nor take it unto thee.
It said don't even desire the silver or the gold that's on those things. Read on, not.
Nor take it unto thee.
Uh-huh.
Lest thou be snared therein.
Because these things are snares, a trap. A lot of these things are basically what? Traps to our people. Because they thinking that, guess what? Just because you got a Christmas tree, that means that, guess what? That's the only time you should have family time. No, that's even Esau programming our people when you should even be amongst each other.
Right.
Why do you have to pick that specific day to be amongst the family? You can be among your family any day of the week, as much as you want. Why just on these days? Hell, Thanksgiving and Christmas, are you commanded just to be with the family? That's just total madness, man. That means our people are what? Still in the matrix and still programmed. Read on.
For it is an abomination to the Lord thy God.
Read on, Doc.
Neither shall they bring an abomination to thy house.
And the Most High God said, don't bring that abomination into your house, man. Christmas trees don't do those things. That's why, guess what? The Most High God bring judgments on apartment buildings, on houses, because of these trees. So like you leave the Christmas lights on, going to work, and you come home, you ain't got no house, man. Read on.
Lest thou be a cursed thing like it.
Or the Most High God is literally telling you to become a cursed thing like it. Meaning what? Your spirit is snared with that thing. Now you wholeheartedly fighting for Christmas when that's a pagan damn holiday. Read on.
But thou shalt utterly detest it.
Uh-huh.
And thou shalt utterly abhor it.
It said utterly abhor. It means to utterly hate that thing, man. Read on.
For it is a cursed thing.
For it is a cursed thing. So you know the battle axe, you think we ain't ready to go out there and teach this Sabbath? Well, shh. Boy, like I said, you better be lining the precepts up, man.
Right.
Because we ready to bring the pain out there.
Give you another reader.
Boy, for real. Go ahead,
You be another reader. You be just, like, dang, yeah, you should be ready. Because if you had to pick, guess what? Their favorite day of the year is their Christmas. Guess what? Our favorite day of the year is to rebuke them should be Christmas. And what greater day to fall upon is the Sabbath.
That's right.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Go back to Wisdom of Solomon chapter 13.
Chapter 13.
Start at verse 3. No, verse 2. Verse 3.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13 and verse 3. With whose beauty, if they being delighted, took them to be gods.
See, he said, whose beauty, if they be delighted, took them, because a lot of people, a lot of heathen took all what God created to be idols. That's why you see them worshiping the cow. I mean, they be worshiping calves. Guess what? We did the same thing. We seen them do it. That's what we want to do too. Read on.
Let them know how much better the Lord of them is.
So let them know. Guess what? You think the creature good. Look at the Creator. Let them know how much better the Creator is than what you see in the creations, man. Read on.
For the first author of beauty hath created them.
First, this is going into the Most High God, giving glory to Him, man. Read on.
But if they were astonished at their power and virtue.
So he said, but if you just astonished at their power and their virtue, man, read.
Let them understand by them
Uh-huh.
how much mightier he is that made them.
So to show how much mighty him that made it, man. If you think that the rhinoceros is a powerful animal, or that the elephant is a powerful animal, or just a tornado can tell some stuff, how much you think the Most High God is? That's why, guess what? You can get a Guinness Book of World Record. You can look it up on your phone right now. Who got the most deaths in the world? Who got the most killing in the world? Guess who they gave it to? The Most High. Who got the most births? Births that gave everybody life. Who got the most births? The Most High. You got to give it to him. Because can't nothing come in, can't nothing go out without him, man. He is the beginning and the end of everything. Let's go. Let's touch on Christ's birthday right quick. Let's touch on it. I don't want to really kind of touch on it. Let's go to Luke chapter 1. Because we know, you know our people, man. Mama be like, I thought that was Jesus' birthday. That's his birthday. Well, you can't take away from his birthday. So, Mama, if that was his birthday, it'll be in the Bible say that was his birthday. But guess what? We can prove that it's not his birthday. Why is this? Let's go read the scripture like here you go. Luke chapter 1, verse 1.
This is the book of Luke, chapter 1 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
For as much as many have taken in hand to set forth in order a declaration of those things which are most sure believed among us.
So guess what, man? It's showing these things that we're going to take in hand is going to be a declaration among us, right? It said this is a surely the declaration, supposed to be a surely declaration among us, man. But watch this, though.
Verse 2, even as they delivered them unto us, which from the beginning were eyewitnesses and ministers of the world, of the word.
These things is eyewitnesses and ministers of the word. Watch this, read on.
It seemed good to me also, having had perfect understanding.
Hold on, because guess what? What we finna read right now, you should have a perfect understanding about. Because guess what? He was writing this, and guess what? These people supposed to have had a perfect understanding about this too. So what he said, he telling that this right here is no lie in no kind of way. Right? Read.
Verse 3 from the top. It seemed good to me also, having had perfect understanding. Of all things from the very first. To write unto thee in order most excellent, Theophilus.
So guess what? This is supposed to be written perfectly, right? So if Christ was born in December 25th, right? Jump down to verse 26. We're going to see if this is a lie.
Verse 26. And in the 6th month, the angel Gabriel was sent from God unto a city of Galilee named Nazareth to a virgin espoused to a man whose name was Joseph.
So guess what? If he was sent in the 6th month, count the months. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So is that, so in the 12th month, so he was born in what? It ain't enough months, unless he must be premature. I guess we must got a premature Christ or something. Something must be off on this thing. When you saying it's his birthday, I guess he must have born, you know, a premature baby, he was probably born in a hand size. They had to put him in an incubator or something. Yeah, I guess they had to put Christ in the incubator. Hold y'all appreciate. Let's go to Wisdom of Solomon chapter 7, man. You had to put Christ in the incubator or something, man. Because obviously this must be off. If we just give the count, it's off. Keep on saying it like, well, that's his birthday now. I guess he must. The God we serve gonna send down his son as a premature baby. Hey, that better stop that bit, man. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 7 and verse 2.
This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, and verse 2. And in my mother's womb was fashioned to be flesh in the time of 10 months.
So guess what? When a woman carrying a baby, the fullest term she can carry a baby is what? 10 months. 40 weeks. That's the most she can carry a baby. But most women have a baby within the 9th month and the 10th month. That's the full term that a woman will have the baby. unless she be induced. And you know, you got manners of sometime, I guess when you have twins, some women have the baby within the 7 and the 8 months. But we know that the baby's supposed to be coming there within the night, so the baby ain't gonna be there. She ain't gonna carry the baby for 11 months. That's not gonna happen. The most she can carry the baby is for 10 months according to the scripture. Y'all wouldn't think y'all can fight against the scripture on that. So the most she can carry is 10 months. So let's go do our count again. 7, 8, 9, or 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's not enough months. So we got to be off somewhere. Read on up.
Being compacted in blood of the seed of man and the pleasure that came with sleep.
So this is when how a baby being born, man. A woman can carry it up to 10 months, man. Let's go back. Luke chapter 1 and verse 26.
It's the book of Luke chapter 1 and verse 26.
Mm-hmm.
And in the 6th month,
the
angel Gabriel was sent from God unto a city of Galilee named Nazareth.
So guess what? We know that Christ was born in what? Around April. Somewhere around April. Maybe somewhere around March, April. These are the time that he was brought into the world around March, April. So guess what? This line up perfectly with what we believe, but with what they believe, it does not line up perfectly. But we can prove it literally through the scriptures because guess what? The angel came within it said in the 6 months, so I guess the angel must let them wait a whole year. It didn't say all that. It just did not. Hey, I know they be wanting so bad. Even I'm gonna give y'all a little treat though. Watch this. Just like these was when you read Luke chapter, when you reading the book of Luke, he was trying to give the best version of the Most God. He said the Most High God gave him. Guess what? They would have had the perfect understanding to write this. So when we saying any other thing, other than that, guess what? These things is going into a falsehood. Even you think about Zacharias and Elizabeth, John the Baptist, mom and daddy. They knew who John the Baptist was too. They knew he was alive. Watch this though. Jump to verse 13.
Verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
But the angel said unto him,
Mm-hmm.
Fear not, Zacharias.
Because guess what, man? The angel's telling Zacharias that you finna get ready to have a baby. And Zacharias kind of rebelled a little bit. But guess what? At this time Zacharias had seen he was doing the incense and he seen this angel just appeared. And this he was like, dang, what the? You know what I'm saying? Why he was doing the incense? Because he was keeping the law perfectly. So he was in the time when they doing the incense. He was doing the incense and the angel appeared. Read on up.
For the prayer is heard,
Mm-hmm.
and thy wife Elizabeth shall bear thee a son,
And
and thou shalt call his name John.
he said he should call his name John. Read.
And thou shalt have joy and gladness, and many shall rejoice at his birth.
And many people gonna be rejoicing at his birth. Man, read.
For he shall be great in the sight of the Lord,
Uh-huh.
and shall drink neither wine nor strong drink.
Read.
And he shall be filled with the Holy Ghost.
And he gonna be filled with the Holy Ghost. Read.
Even from his mother's womb.
Uh-huh.
And many of the children of Israel shall he turn to the Lord. And many of the children of Israel shall he turn to the Lord their God.
So guess what now? It said many of the children of Israel. It's not saying all nations. I don't know how they can keep on. You know what I'm saying? He said many of the children of Israel shall he turn unto their God. But verse 17, the point, man. Read on.
Verse 17. And he shall go before him in the spirit and power of Elias.
Read that again.
And he shall go before him in the spirit and power of Elias.
So they gave mother and father. Guess what? The Most High God sent the angel to tell them, look, you supposed to be paving the way for what's to come.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what he's supposed to be did? And he told them this is the lies that was going to be paving the way for Christ.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they had to. That's why the angels coming in. They were just doing their job because guess what? These are scriptures that's being fulfilled. These things have to be fulfilled that was written of Christ. So if you know that lies were supposed to come to pave the way, they was letting them know that John the Baptist is there. The lies that was supposed to be coming to pave the way, right? Matter of fact, let's go get what's that, Malachi chapter 4. Chapter 4. Verse 5.
Book of Malachi, chapter 4, and verse 5. Behold, I will send you Elijah, the prophet, before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. And he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite thee. Lest I come and smite the earth with a curse.
With a curse, man. So guess what? He had to come. Guess what? He preparing the way for the King of Kings. Because when the King step on the scene, guess what? And this is in the further prophecy, guess what? Of us waking up in the last days too. Thinking on how what? We was in dead sleep and what happened? All of a sudden, we used to start people saying, oh, we Israel? We God's chosen? Guess what? And that great day finna come when that man come back again, and guess what's gonna happen? Yeah. Everybody gonna know. We all gonna know, man. All praise to the Most High, man. Let's go into
Hold up, let's touch on that, because even give me Matthew chapter 2, verse 11. I know they try to bring this up too, man. We want to kind of cover these corners, man.
yeah. Every stone.
Also, he's debunked the damn lies that they have been teaching our people with the 3 wise men bringing Christ's presence. You'll never see 3 wise men in there.
3 blind mice.
Yeah. Read this right quick.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 2, and verse 11. And when they were come into the house, they saw the young child was Mary, his mother, and fell down and worshipped him. And when they had opened their treasures, they presented unto him gifts, gold and frankincense and myrrh.
Because they'll use that scripture to try to justify doing what? Giving presents on their birthday. But that is not what that's going into. They was just worshiping what? Christ, because they knew he was the king. Like all nations gonna do. You think if people ain't gonna come up and see Christ on the scene and ain't gonna bring tribute and ain't gonna bring treasures and so forth to him? Man, you gotta be out your mind, man. That's not what they wasn't celebrating their birthday, man. Give me that in Zechariah chapter 14, verse 17. They wasn't celebrating their birthday because Christ understood the scriptures. He knew in the scriptures in the book of Job where it tells you what? Don't worship your birthday, and we finna get those next.
You ready?
Yeah, read that out.
This is the book of Zechariah, chapter 14, and verse 17. And it shall be that whoso will not come up of all the families of the earth unto Jerusalem to worship the king.
To do what?
To worship the king.
So all nations gonna worship the king. Like I say, they also gonna bring tribute too when we read in the book of Isaiah, chapter 66. Read on up.
The Lord of hosts.
Even
upon them shall be no rain.
Shall be no what?
Shall be no rain.
So if they not worshiping Christ in that time, bringing tribute, or keeping the commandments in that time, guess what? The Most High God is going to basically starve them out, man. Read on.
And if the family of Egypt go not up and come not, that have no rain, there should be the plague.
There should be the what?
There should be the plague.
And it's going to be a plague. Is that it on that? Read on out.
Wherewith the Lord will smite the heathen that come not up to keep the Feast of Tabernacles.
Now give me the book of Job, chapter 3, verse 1. They said we knew Christ understood. Christ is the word. So, like I say, even with those wise men, they're being wise because they was what? Keeping the commandments. According to Psalms chapter 19, verse 7. But like we say, you don't see no 3 wise men like how they done portrayed and all these damn movies and so forth. It's just men that were just keeping the commandments. Read this right quick, God.
This is the book of Job, chapter 3, and verse 1. After this, opened Job his mouth and cursed his day.
And did what up?
And cursed his day.
He cursed his day, meaning his birthday. Read on.
And Job spake and said, let the day perish wherein I was born.
He said, let that day perish, man. Just treat it as a regular old day. Yes, you was born on that day, but guess what? Don't go into all different type of idolatry by worshiping that day. Because that's what birthday is going into. It's just self-worship of oneself.
Right.
Read on.
And the night in which it was said, there is a man-child conceived.
Read on now.
Let the day be dark.
It says, let that day be darkness. Read on.
let not God regard it from above.
And he's even telling, let not the Most High God regard that day from above. So why, when we get to the New Testament, all of a sudden it done changed?
Right.
No, this Bibles is in sync with each other. Same thing that, guess what they was doing in the Old Testament, Christ was doing in the New Testament. Read on.
Neither let the light shine upon it.
It says, neither let the light shine upon it. Even with the lighting up the candles on the birthday cake. It goes into all those different things on the spiritual level. Go ahead, Al.
Become. And it's the reason why they came and brought Christ's gift, man. Go back to Matthew 2 and 11 right now. That's the reason why they did bring a gift, man. Like, I just explained that perfectly, man. Read it up.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 2 and verse 11. And when they were come to the house, they saw the young child with Mary, his mother, and fell down and worshipped him. And when they had opened their treasures, they presented unto him gifts, gold and frankincense and myrrh.
And myrrh. See, so why did he present them? Why did they present gifts? Why? This is the precept. So Sirach chapter 35 and verse 4, man. This is why they presented the gift, man. Because like you say, it'll be a terrible dang on thing for you to go to the king and don't bring nothing. Read that up.
This is the book of Sirach chapter 35 and verse 4. Thou shalt not appear empty before the Lord.
Read that again, Doc.
Thou shalt not appear empty before the Lord.
So guess what? You ain't the Lord, though. You ain't the Lord.
That's right.
This is the King of Kings, man. We came from, guess what? We gotta go see the King. Guess what, man? Just like when we sitting up there, you gonna guess what? You gonna have to bring something to the King. That's just how it rolls, man. You cannot appear empty before the Lord, man. Read on.
Verse 5. For all these things are to be done because of the commandment.
But all these things will be done because of what?
Because of the commandment.
Of the commandments, man. Guess what? You got to show honor and respect unto the king, man. But who would want to come bring some kind of gift? Guess what, man? To the Most High God's son. I'm like Brother Vic, man. He said he wanna shape up Yahweh Shai beard, man. Oh, praise.
Man, let me get another one too, man. That was a perfect scripture. Give me Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 10.
You want to say Yahweh Shai beard? He want to trim him up, man. He said he gonna pray to the Lord, guide my hands, Lord. Oh, praise.
Brother Solomon, man.
Guide my hands, Lord.
Because this is the whole thing they're going to be doing, not only to Christ, but to all of Israel. Read this out.
This is the book of Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 10. And the sons of the strangers shall build up thy walls, and the kings shall minister unto thee.
So their kings are going to minister unto us, meaning what? Be at our beck and call. Read on.
For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on
At
thee.
the end of the day, the Most High God chose Israel and going to have grace and mercy upon us. Read on.
Therefore thy gates shall be open continually.
Therefore shall our gates be open continually. Read on.
They shall not be shut day nor night, that men may bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles.
The forces of the Gentiles is going into what? Their wealth. All their wealth, they're going to constantly be bringing in to the nation of Israel for, guess what? Taxes and tribute. Constantly. So meaning what? We're going to be the most wealthiest, most powerful nation on the planet Earth. They're going to be doing it to bring homage to the Most High God and to Yahweh Shai and to the Israelites. Read on.
And that their kings may be brought. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish.
Shall what?
Shall perish.
Read on up.
Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted.
So, like I just pulled in the book of Sirach, hey, if you're not bringing nothing up, if those nations not paying the proper taxes or tribute, they gonna be utterly wasted, man. Go ahead, Al.
Be calm on that, man. Let's go to I'm gonna deal with something right quick. Just go 1 Corinthians chapter 10. Verse 14.
This is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10, and verse 14. Wherefore, my dearly beloved, flee from idolatry.
What the Bible tells us to do?
flee from idolatry.
So guess what? Whatever this idolatry thing that we do, we got to flee from these things, man. These are the things that we got to, man. Look, it said, dearly the beloved. We already know the beloved is just talking about Israel, man. It's telling us to flee from idolatry, man. Guess what, man? These birthdays, these holidays, these pagan days, we supposed to be fleeing from these things.
That's
man.
right. Guess what? They go further than that. Some brothers may worship their wives. Some wives may worship their husbands. Like it now, it's outside of the respect way. Now, if you putting your husband above the Most High God, that's out of order. You have those things. You have sisters that worship their jobs. You have brothers that worship their jobs. You have brothers and sisters that do what? Worship money, worship their cars, worship their rims. All these things goes into idolatry. Knowledge that they're trying to put above this Bible, Egyptology. You see what all these mathematics, all this stuff goes into idolatry, man. Go ahead, huh?
And that's true. Even when, guess what? I'm gonna tell you something. Even when you don't want to shake that old person, or if somebody bringing you correction, that's idolatry too. Let's go to First Samuel chapter 15 and 20 and 23. Those things right there, those idolatry too. These things go one and the same, man. Just like that, if you don't, you trying to, when somebody bringing you correction and you can't take the correction, you just like you celebrating the Christmas tree. That's just like you keeping these holidays when you stubborn and can't take correction. These things one and the same, man. Read that out.
This is the book of 1 Samuel, chapter 15, and verse 23.
Mm-hmm.
When rebellion is as the sin of
He
witchcraft,
said the rebellion is at the sin of witchcraft, man. Read.
and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry.
Because guess what? So when you a person that's stubborn, that's idolatry, man. I don't give a dang who you are. If you in that type of spirit that you want to be stubborn, that's idolatry, man.
That's right.
Those things is straight idolatry like a mug, man. And these some things that we have to shake. Go ahead, up.
Because I'm glad I touched on that, because a lot of times what that's going into, you basically putting yourself above the Most High God's correction. No, my way is better. Right. Let's do my way. Right. The Bible said what? Don't lean on your own understanding. If brothers is giving you the understanding out the scriptures, going precept upon precept, and you still reject it, that's exactly what that thing is going into, man. Hey, you don't know better than the Most High God or better than these scriptures, man.
Right.
Big con, man. Read on, up.
Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, he has also rejected thee from being king.
So this is why the Most High God even cast off from Saul from being king, man, just because of these things, man. He want to be rebellious, and guess what? The stubbornness in his heart. No, these things right here gets us in trouble, man. We can ourselves on a day-to-day basis. We get ourselves be idolatry. Mm-hmm. Just like even our people, they want to call themselves, "Oh, I'm a god, I'm a god." Matter of fact, let's get that, man. Go to Psalms 82 right quick, man. Yeah. The Most High God, he did say we are gods. But guess what? That's why Christ was cutting them up about this thing, because they ain't got no understanding, though. They really don't have a real understanding, man. Read that. Psalm 82 and verse 6.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 82 and verse 6. I have said, man, ye are gods.
Man, I'm sloppy, man. I'm going to jump up a little bit, man, because I want to get more context. Because a lot of time we read this, guess what, man? The Lord said, yeah, y'all gods. Because guess what? It's basically giving us to understand y'all are the leading nation on the planet. But don't confuse yourself with the God, though.
Right.
Jump up to verse 5, Bob.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 82 and verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
They know not, neither will they understand.
Uh-huh.
They walk on in darkness.
And walk on in darkness, read.
All the foundations of the earth are out of course.
Because all the foundations are out of course, man. You think everybody call themselves gods. A lot of these people call themselves gods. They not in the truth call themselves gods. Most of the time, people that's in the truth ain't call themselves that. It's the people that's doing Egyptology and all that other stuff calling themselves that, man. Well, read on.
I have said, ye are gods.
He said, I have said ye are gods. Read.
And all of you are children of the Most High.
Read on.
But ye shall die like men. And fall like one of the princes.
And he said, you're going to fall like one of the princes, because guess what, man? You ain't the God. And a lot of us, we get caught up into something and thinking that, yeah, we gods and goddesses. Yeah, we gods and goddesses. But I'm talking about the people that go on a day-to-day basically they walk around and they thinking in their mind, well, I'm a God, I'm God, I got God body, yeah. You better humble yourself down because the earth is giving it to the meek and to the humble. Yeah, the Lord, yeah, he made us a top nation on the planet, and he made us as gods. Guess what? To other nations, we are as it. Let's go to First Chronicles chapter 16 right quick. Let's go get something on there. First Chronicles chapter 16 and verse verse 24.
This is the book of First Chronicles, chapter 16 and verse 24. Declare his glory among the heathen. His marvelous works among all nations.
And it's marvelous to declare his glory. This is going into our God, man. And he said, declare his glory among the heathen and his marvelous works amongst all nations, man. Read.
For great is the Lord. And greatly to be praised.
And greatly to be praised. Read.
He also is to be feared above all gods.
And he also, guess what? Our God is supposed to be feared above all gods, man. We can't walk around because thinking ourselves, we gods. Yeah, we are gods. But guess what? The Most High God said you're supposed to fear me above all gods. But this is why our God think about the gods of this planet, though. Read on.
For all the gods of the people are idols.
Read that again.
For all the gods of the people.
Read that right.
For all the gods of the people are idols.
He said all the gods of the people are idols.
Man, what kind of Bible you got? I'm read that. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 96.
No, First Chronicles 16.
Boy, I'm like, what? I'm like, where are you at, God? My bad, it's like, it's saying the same thing. Go ahead.
It might be a precept, man. First Chronicles 16:26. Read that.
First Chronicles chapter 16 and verse 26. For all the gods of the people are idols.
He said all the gods of the people are idle. So guess what? If we part of the lowercase g's, guess what? And you want to put yourself in the lowercase g bracket, guess what, man? I want to start. If I'm on the street, this brother say, man, I'm a God. I'm saying, you're a little G. What's up, little G? God's telling him, bro, you're a little G. The Most High God said all the gods of this planet are idols, man. Read.
But the Lord made the heaven.
He said, but the Lord, the God that we need to be worshiping, is the God of heaven, man. This is God that we need to. That's what, man. I ain't concerning myself with being no God, because I ain't trying to be that, man. I already know the Creator, man. I know the Creator of heaven and earth. This is what I pray to out every day, 2-3 times a day. This is something that we need to wrap our mind around, because sometimes we get caught up in some stuff, man. Even our brother Paul had to watch this. Acts chapter 17.
And that precept to that is Psalms 96 and 5. So like that.
Acts chapter 17 and verse 16.
This is the book of Acts, chapter 17 and verse 16. Now, while Paul waited for them in Athens, his spirit was stirred in him.
Read, because Paul was waiting for Silas and Timotheus, man. He said, so, but while Paul was waiting for them in Athens, read.
Now, while Paul waited for them in Athens, his spirit was stirred in him.
Read.
When he saw the city wholly given to idolatry.
Because guess what? In the city, guess what? Even in America, the Most High God gave this country over, and gave this whole place over in the Americas to the northern tribe. Well, guess what he's over into now? Idolatry, man. So we so wrapped up in what this world doing and not going to our God. I don't think we want to see, guess what? We want to see, that's why we watch TV so much, because we want to see something new all the time. We want something fresh, something new all the time. We want to be innovative. We want to be moving fast. We want to have this thing going. Jump down to verse 21, man.
Verse 21. For all the Athenians and strangers which were there spent their time in nothing else, but either to tell or to hear some new thing.
This is what we got right here in America. That's all they want to hear. They want to tell. They want to hear something new all the time. This is why people be on Facebook all day long. They want to be able to see something new. That's why people stuck on their phones, man. This is the same land that they talking about. This is when they get what? Paul was up in Athens at the time, but guess what? This is the same thing that's correlating to how it goes in America. People can't put their phone down. It's like this all day long. They can't put it down.
That's right. I'm glad that I brought that up, man. That's probably the heaviest point ever. You been on Facebook more than you in the scriptures,
Right.
man. That's
Right.
you got to rethink that
That's
stuff.
idolatry, man.
Idolatry, man. Like I say, even when because I get on myself, sometimes even like I said, even getting caught up in the TV at times. You know, I know sometimes I may watch the History Channel, but even like I say, you watching TV more than you stand into your scriptures. Like I said, and that's a shot at me. You know what I'm saying? So I know brothers and sisters dealing these things, man. But we got to shake those things, man. Be in His Word.
Become, and you know, and the thing is, like you say, when you get locked in, guess what? And from time to time, I do it too. I get caught up in what I'm doing, boy. But when the Most High God, guess what? If you really wanted His children, guess what? He'll put it on your spirit. Like, hey, you ain't been reading. Guess what? He'll put it on your spirit again. You ain't been reading. Then He put it on your spirit again. Now you and your husband or you and your wife, y'all in there arguing now. But if you was reading, guess what? You ain't had no time to do all that extra.
Even with the Facebook, that's why you have certain things. Sister see a post that another sister done post, shooting shots at her. Get your ass off that Facebook.
Real.
Get into that word. Or even with the brothers and so forth, because brothers be messy just as well. But like we say, you want to be in the word more than you do anything, because these are the things to help, guess what, get our spirits through things. Facebook ain't going to do nothing but, guess what, get you more involved into that stuff, man.
And that's what it's all set up for, man. It's all set up, man. It's all set up to tell a lie to you, man.
Like I said, at least be on that mug sharing the videos or something, man.
Yeah. Everybody in here should be sharing videos.
Pushing that truth, man, wholeheartedly, man. Push this truth, man.
Let's go to Exodus chapter 32 right quick. Exodus chapter 32, we're going to start from the top. Because guess what? These things, this is why we're trying to get brothers and sisters to understand. Okay, we covered about Christmas, but when you looking at your own self, guess what? If you can't get this own stubbornness and you can't get this wickedness about you, this is idolatry too. These things goes into idolatry, just like the people that celebrate Christmas. You might not be celebrating Christmas, but guess what? You in idolatry too, because you can't shake that old man sometime, man. You just can't shake it. And this is what we're supposed to be doing. Read it up.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 32. And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mountain.
Now, this is the Most High God just told the children of Israel, if you didn't keep the Sabbath day, I'm going to start killing y'all. He just told them that in Exodus chapter 31. He just told them, if you don't keep the Sabbath day and keep the Sabbath day holy, I'm gonna start killing y'all. He just told them that. Moses still on Mount Sinai getting the message from the Most High of what he's supposed to be giving to the people. Read on.
The people gathered themselves together unto Aaron.
So now they gathered themselves unto Aaron, man.
And said unto him,
Up,
make us gods.
They said, do what?
Up, make us gods.
They told him to get up and make them a god. That's what they wanted to do. They wanted to get up and they wanted them to make them a god. Aaron should have known better, man. Holy precept. Go to Proverbs 29 and 12, man. Get there, I'll just read.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 29 and verse 12. If a ruler hearken to
He
lies,
said, if your ruler hearken to lies, read.
all his servants are wicked.
All is what?
All his servants are wicked.
So guess what? Just like even in America, guess what? If you celebrate, if the ruler of this world right here celebrating these things and you do it too, guess what? You wicked too. You one in the same with them. Guess what? If mama celebrating this and mama knows she don't supposed to be doing this and you doing it with her, guess what? You and mama both is wicked, man. Both of y'all wicked. Let's go back to Exodus chapter 32. So guess what? And it said if the ruler hearken to lies, so is his servants. Guess what? This is going into leadership and this is going into people. Read that out.
Up, make us gods.
He said, make us God. Read.
Which shall go before us.
So he said these guys gonna go before us, man. Guess what? The Most High God said these guys can't move, man. They must need to be born. Every idol has to be born. You have to carry an idol. You cannot, these idols can't move by themselves unless you make them. Guess what? You got to make them and you got to carry them, man. Read on.
For as for this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we want not what is become of him.
So guess what? He said with Moses, we don't even know what happened to him. What happened to him? He went to the mountain. We don't even want to know where this nigga at. You know how we talk. Where is this nigga at? This nigga ain't here. Where he at? Where Moses at? Moses ain't here. Boy, I know, boy, Aaron sitting up, he shaking like a leaf on the tree, man. Aaron put this, guess what, man? If you see how the correlation of things that was written aforetime were written for our learning, man, that we should have patience and comfort of the scripture. This should show us, this should give us a clear understanding that when you put in a situation, you got an opportunity to do good and to do evil. Guess what? Some of our forefathers, in their particular time, some of them failed. But some of them got it right too. But in this particular time, Aaron didn't get it right, man.
That's the situation where you got to do what? You got to stand bold as a lion, man. Sometimes, hey, standing bold means you have to be out there alone. But, you know, as a congregation, shoot, it wouldn't be nothing to get bruised and sisters on the phone, you know, to have some backing. But a lot of times, hey, we know a lot of times in this captivity, especially the wicked way out the righteous, man, regardless. So, you still going to have to stand bold, man.
You still going to have to. Because this is what he's supposed to be stood bold, man. When them people came to him, they tell him, they said, nigga, get up. It's like, you see that capital up. They tell you, like, nigga, get up. You know, we like, nigga, get your ass up. Read, so go to Sirach 2. Hold your precept. Go to Sirach 2 and 12. 12 and 13. And 14.
12.
Start at verse 12.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 2, and verse 12. Woe be to the fearful heart and faint hands.
And faint hands, because that's what happened, man. They was fearful heart and faint. Where's Moses at? He brought us out of Egypt. But where is he at? He been gone a long time, man. Read on.
And the sinner that goeth two ways.
And the sinner that goeth two ways. Guess what? You know what God said. Then you know what you want to do. So now you going two ways. Because you got God's way and you got your way. Read.
Woe to him that is faint-hearted.
They're saying woe is going into destruction. That's the person going into losing patience. In the next verse is going to cover it. Though. Read on.
For he believeth not.
For he what?
For he believeth not.
They said, man, they don't know what Moses said. This nigga could be dead anywhere, anything, man. We don't believe in Moses. He gone. Where is he at? He can't bring forth no miracle. We don't see him. Where he is? Read on.
Therefore shall he not be defended.
Say he not be defended, man. Read on.
Woe unto you that have lost patience.
Because this is what the children of Israel do the most. They do this right now to this day. But we lose patience. We lose some patience like eat mug, man. Read.
And what will you do when the Lord shall visit?
What you gonna do when the Lord visits you? Because guess what? When the Lord came back, boy, and seen what they did, boy, our God wanted to kill they bus, man. He wanted to kill. He told Moses, boy, you step back out the way. I'm gonna kill all of them, man. Y'all know, boy, our God get down. That's why I say our God is a man of war. Because he didn't play that mess, man. Just think on how he was looking, man. He was, man, I'm trying to set them people up, man, for them to rule the world. And I'm trying to give them all this good stuff. And they can't be patient enough to wait for me. Yo, well, you just want to give in to your mama and them, huh? You want to give in to your brother and them, huh? You just want to celebrate this Christmas anyway, huh? Nah, you can't wait for me. That's how the Lord look. You can't wait for me. Let's go back, man. We got the same spirit on us right now, though. This is our people, man. We got the same spirit on us. Can't shake it, man. Something we're going to have to learn to shake, though, before our God get back, man. Read that out.
Exodus.
Yeah, Exodus 32. Yep.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 32, and verse 2. And Aaron said unto them, break off the golden earrings.
He said, told them to break off the golden earrings, read.
Which are in the ears of your wives, of your sons, and of your daughters, and bring them unto me.
So guess what, man? They kills that earring doctrine. They kills that earring doctrine. So he said our wives wear earrings, our daughters wear earrings, and guess who else wear earrings? Our sons. They kills that not wearing earrings doctrine. I mean, this is what the Most High was saying, man. Hey, it is what it is. You take it how you want to take it. Shot fired. 50-round drum. Read.
And verse 3. And all the people break off the golden earrings.
So all the people broke off the golden earring, the wives, the sons, and the daughters. Read.
Which were in the ears, which was in their ears.
Uh-huh.
And brought them unto Aaron.
And they brought the earrings unto Aaron, man. Read.
And he received them at their hand.
Uh-huh.
And fashioned it with a graving tool.
Uh-huh.
After he had made it a molten calf.
And then, dang on, man, look at Brother Aaron and all your glory. That was a damn fool move, man. Boy, he did the foolishest stuff, boy. Man, guess what? Guess what? He making the goal. He making the image. And guess what? When we got that same stubbornness in our heart, guess what happened? We doing the same thing. This is something that we realize. Yeah, we read these stories, but when we stubborn against these scriptures and we rebel against what these scriptures say that we supposed to do, guess what? We just made a multi-calf, man. We do the same thing. When the wife don't do, hey, as the scripture said that she's supposed to be with her husband, and the husband don't do what he's supposed to do with the wife, and the children don't supposed to be, they don't supposed to do what the parents tell them to do, and they think that they could, look here, man, you, guess what? Grace is measured. You only got but a short amount of time.
For real, trying to trim your ways, arguing over the Christmas tree and so forth. I would just do it for the kids' sake. No. Yeah, you got to put that stuff utterly out of your house. All this idolatry stuff, man, is one and the same. Go ahead, Art.
Read on up.
After he had made it a molten calf.
Have he made a molten calf? Read.
And they said, these be thy gods, O Israel.
Here go to little G's, man. Go to little G's. These be thy gods, O Israel, right?
Which brought thee up out of the land of Egypt.
So all of a sudden this molten calf brought us out the land of Egypt.
That's cold.
Boy, this is cold blooded, ain't it, man? Read on.
And when Aaron saw it, he built an altar before it.
God dang it, Aaron. He built. Guess what? He said, like, dang, this calf do look pretty good. The sun hitting down on the calf, made it shiny and gold. He built the altar beside it, though. Read on.
And Aaron made proclamation.
Well, he
said,
ain't just see it. He made a proclamation, man. And read on.
And said, tomorrow is a feast to the Lord. Dang.
Guess what? Don't this sound like the northern tribe? Don't this sound like the children of Israel? Don't this sound like the southern tribe? Or don't this sound like right now? This is the same thing. Guess what? People saying that, oh, I'm going to celebrate this Christmas. Oh, I'm doing it for the Lord. This is Christ's birthday. I'm doing it for the Lord. You ain't doing it for the Lord. Give a damn y'all do. Guess we're going to be a whole bunch of people go to church on Sabbath. This all holler. I mean, look, all praise to the Most High. There's going to be a lot of people going to church on Sabbath. But for the wrong reason, though. You ain't doing it for the right reason. You not keeping the Sabbath. You got your own holiday, and I'm going to do it for the Lord. I'm going to do my own holiday for the Lord. That's going with our mamas and our daddies do this, our aunties and uncles. Guess what, man? Our people do this thing, man. We're going to do our own feast to the Lord. The Lord never told us to do none of that, though.
Let me get Bell and the Dragon real quick, man.
It's hard to get away from them. You got to go there.
Bell and the Dragon, verse 3.
Let me see. You get these things, it's pilgrim. A lot of people be doing it, man.
Read that out.
This is the book of Bel and the Dragon, verse 3. Now the Babylonians had an idol.
So Babylonians, they were known for having idols. Read on out.
Called Bel.
Called what?
Called Bel.
Read on out.
And there were and they were spent upon him every day 12 great measures of fine flour, and 40 sheep, and 6 vessels of wine.
So they was giving all these things unto this idol. Read on out.
And the king worshipped it, and went daily to adore it. But Daniel worshipped his own God.
But Daniel did what up?
But Daniel worshipped his own God.
So no matter when you got brothers and sisters that's worshiping these idols, guess what? We need to worship our God, man. Like a lot of times, it's our job to be that light to set forth the example. Even when it's not convenient for brothers and sisters, man. Guess what? We got to let that light shine at all costs. Read on up.
And the king said unto him, why dost not thou worship Baal?
So why you not worshiping Baal? Why you don't have a Christmas tree set up? Why you not saying happy holidays? Why you not doing all these things? Read on up.
who answered and said, because I may not worship idols made with hands.
And that's what he told them. Guess what? We're not worshiping idols made with hands. Read on up.
But the living God.
But the who?
But the living God.
Guess what? We're not celebrating Christmas because guess what? The living God gave us what? The Feast of Dedication. We're not worshiping idols because the living God gave us Passover. He gave us the 7-day Sabbath. He gave us high holy days to worship. Read on up.
Who has created the heaven and the earth and have sovereignty over all flesh.
Read on.
Then said the king unto him, thinkest thou not that Baal is a living God? Seest thou not how much he eateth and drinketh every day?
Read what verse 7 is the point.
Verse 7. Then Daniel smiled.
Like a lot of times we do when they talking about trying to be slick and try to make you say Merry Christmas back. You gotta give them that slick smile, man. Man, get your butt up out of here, man. You know I really want to say ASS. But hey, we gotta keep it let's say PG. Read on up.
Then Daniel smiled and said, O king, be not deceived.
Hey, don't be deceived, man. We know the traditions, we know the history that Christmas goes into. We know it's pagan in origin. We know it goes back to Nimrod. Read on up.
For this is but clay within.
Read that again up.
For this is but clay within.
Read on up.
And brass without. And did never eat or drink anything.
So we already know. We know that these things are nothing. All these God, even Sibo. Like we said, that fake image of Cesar Borgia, these crosses, these Christmas trees, all those things are basically nothing, man. And we're just wasting our time on it. Go ahead,
Big con, man. Go back to Exodus chapter 32. Like I said, man, these things, like, look at man, brother, Daniel just slice them up real quick,
Boy,
man.
he did.
Like, man, it ain't nothing. That mug didn't eat, did drink, he ain't did nothing.
At all.
Yeah, y'all gotta read that Bill and Drake. I might read that tonight, boy. Good little read for me, man. And everybody, man, that's a good read for everybody, man. Read on, verse 6.
Verse 6. This is the book of Exodus chapter 32 and verse 6. And they rose up early on the morrow and offered burnt offerings and brought peace offerings. And the people sat down to eat and to drink and rose up to play.
So guess what, man? They having a good old time. In front of this dang on golden calf, man. This is our idolatry. This is our idolatrous thing, man. Read on.
And the Lord said to Moses, Go get thee down, for the people which thou broughtest out of the land of Egypt has corrupted themselves. They have turned aside quickly out of the way which I commanded them.
So guess what? We turn quickly about the way which the Lord commanded us, man. Read.
They have made them a molten calf and have worshipped.
They made it and they worshiped it, man. Read.
And have sacrificed thereunto. And said, These be thy gods, O Israel, which have brought thee up out of the land of Egypt.
So guess what? When y'all thinking about mama cooking this turkey, mama cooking this Thanksgiving meal, this Christmas meal, she doing all this, when guess what? They try to do this meal for the Lord. Guess what? The Lord smelled it and he hated it. And he looking at it like, yes, how mad at them, how mad at this in Israel, that's how I'm mad at every one of our people that's doing this. This is how our Lord looking at it. I'm mad just like that. You see how they try to make they made the thing, like you say, you got the Christmas tree in the house, mama cook all the good old meal, but everybody coming over here, can't wait to get some of these cakes, and the Lord looking like, look here, I hate that. Just think about mama in there doing it, daddy in there doing it, brother, sister, auntie, uncle, all them in there doing it. Every time anybody, only one of us do that and the Lord smell it, he hate it. He hate that thing, man. Just think on how God thinking about us doing. They did the same thing then. Guess what? This might not be the Christmas holiday, but guess what? It's the same kind of, they made the same thing. Guess what? You got the image in your house. Guess what? You got the food on the table. Then as they get finished eating the food, guess what everybody gonna do? Guess what? They might not going in to play, but guess what? They gonna watch somebody play football on the TV or basketball on TV. That's what they do. This is what they do, man. And our people, man, we try to act like we crazy. But you know the main part, the thing that makes our people do a lot of these things goes to rock. This is the reason why we in captivity right now. This is the main reason. Everybody want to know why we in captivity? This is the main reason why. Go to Sirach chapter 33. This is why we in captivity right now. Sirach chapter 33. And verse 25.
This is the book of Sirach, chapter 33 and verse 25.
Mm-hmm.
If thou set thy servant to labor, thou shalt find rest.
So guess what? If we was at labor, guess what? We in captivity. Guess what the Lord is? We said, Lord, the Lord said, should they my servants? I put them in labor. I should have a little rest now. We the servants of the Most High. If He set us to labor, guess what? When we had everything, guess what? We go serve other gods. So guess what? Since my servants want to serve other gods, okay, then I'm gonna put you to labor. This is why we going into captivity. We don't want to do His work. I'm gonna put some work on you then. Oh, hey, you put a servant to work, you find some rest, man. Read on.
But if thou let him go idle,
But if you let him go idle, guess what he gonna do? He gonna make a molten calf. He gonna put a Christmas tree in his house. He gonna be doing all these holidays. Guess what? That's why we try to make sure that brothers and sisters, guess what? Stay diligent in this work, man. Stay grounded in this word, man. Because guess what? An idle mind can make you do a lot of dang on things, man.
That's what the Most High God has it set up, even on YouTube. Man, you can't go nowhere without getting this truth. You know, it's very hard unless you really trying to avoid brothers in the streets or look at everything other than on YouTube. Because he's flooding the YouTube pages with it, man. Like you say, it's everywhere you go. Like you say, you seeing Bibles everywhere. You got brothers out there teaching and always talking about this truth. You can't miss it, man. So you want to make sure that you stay grounded in these things as well to keep them spirits up off of you, man.
Because
like Ak is going into.
And this is what we supposed to be doing. This is what the Lord looking at His servants, and He looking at us, and this is how He look at us right here, man. Read out.
But if thou let him go idle, he shall seek liberty.
And guess what? If he let go idle, he gonna seek liberty. He trying to find freedom to go do whatever and every he want to do instead of serving the Most High, right? Read.
A yoke and a collar do bow thy neck.
Because guess what? He put the yoke and collar around our neck. He bowed our neck with those things, though. Read on.
So are tortures and torments.
And so guess what? And our people went through these things, man. Read.
For an evil servant.
For what?
For an evil servant.
This what happened. This is why we're going through captivity, what we're going through right now. Read.
Send him to labor.
Do what?
Send him to labor.
Read.
That he be not idle. For idleness teaches much evil. Because
guess what? You know the children of Israel was in much idleness. Because why? If they had something to do, guess what? That's right. That's just like, brother, like you say, you wouldn't know sisters in there talking about you on Facebook if you ain't on Facebook on there trying to find out what's going on. You could be reading the Bible, doing anything with it. You still say what they want to say. Brothers say what they want to say. You stop being so idle, you wouldn't have nothing to say neither.
Yeah.
This is how, guess what? This is how you keep a family together too. Guess what? Husbands, you wonder why she always complaining she ain't got nothing. Guess what, man? Hey, she might need something to do. She ain't got nothing to do. She just sitting up in here. You sitting up here, you looking at her, she looking at you. What y'all gonna do? Nothing. Gonna make some more babies? What y'all gonna do? Watch BMF, what's it called? You gonna do? You gonna watch some more movies? You gonna watch some sitcom? Quit being so idle, man. There's so many more things in the world to do than not just. It's just so many more things in the world. Guess what to do? Instead of being idle, man, doing these other things, man. The Most High God set this thing up, and he opened our ears and opened our minds so we can be able to come back to Him, man. Read on now.
Verse 28.
Verse 27.
Verse 27. Send him to labor.
Do what I
send him to labor.
So when the Lord seen us that we were so idle that we would go do any and everything, the Lord, guess what He did to us? Sent us to labor. That's why guess what? We didn't want to serve Him with joyfulness and gladness of heart. So guess what we got to do? Get up to the white man's clock, guess what? And go hit his clock. And guess what? Sister, you're not smiling today. Sister looking like, B ain't nothing to smile about. That's how you looking. Brother looking at him like, man, get out of my face, bro. I ain't just like talking. Well, we ought to fire his black ass, but he works so good, I'm just leave him alone. Yeah, I know you do. It said, send him to labor that he be not idle, man. Read.
But idleness teacheth much evil.
So when you ain't got nothing to do, guess what Satan do? He said, oh, you don't want to read? I got something for you. Shit, you see that? You see that? Look at she been on that phone all day long. You got to go in there and cuss her butt out. You idle? You ain't got nothing to do. Look at his. That's all he do. Won't sit there and watch TV all day long. Okay, hey. Man, you might well go in and make your dress. You can make everybody dress for the Passover, man. Hey, get what? Brother could go in there. Hey, make you some arm guards or something, man. Go do you some push-ups and read the Bible at the same time. Do something, man. Find you something to do, man. You ain't got stuff, man, because you feeling some type of way. Get your feelings. The feeling the Most High God, give a damn about the feelings. Your feelings is idols too. Find something to do, man. Because idleness teach, man. Idleness bring on evil, man. The scriptures say what they say. You can learn to correlate the scriptures with your life, or you can learn there's the scriptures. Oh, he read it, but they don't mean nothing. Guess what? Then once you're going through it, then you read the same scripture to you. Then you be like, well, I read that before. Yeah, I know you did. Read on, Doc.
Verse 28. Set him to work.
Set him to work. Read.
As is fit for him.
Set him to work as is fit for him. Read.
For he be obedient.
For if he be not obedient, read that again.
If he be not obedient,
put
on more heavy fetters.
He said, if he be not obedient, put on more. Why you think brothers load be just getting heavy and heavy and heavy? I guess what, man? I think I said, dang, I must have a real idle mind. I be doing I got a lot. When you see you got a lot of stuff going on, you're like, dang, I just got so much stuff. Guess what? You got a lot of stuff going on. Because guess what? You might need a lot of stuff because you are an idle person. The Bible said, know ye not your own self. If you don't know yourself, you probably won't know that you be idle like that. But if you know that you be idle like that, hey, it is what it is. That's what I know. Some of the work that be put on me, I know that sometimes I just be, must have an idle mind of thinking. I might need more. And you might think it to another person, it might be thinking like you're doing a whole lot, but to you, you might need more than that. You just might need more than that. You know, it ain't guaranteed just because his idleness and my idleness is two different things. He might just need a little bit just to suffice it, but I might need a whole lot. Because I come with a whole lot. I might need a whole lot. I might need a lot of stuff to do. Just what it is. Because everybody's lives ain't the same. We trying to break down things to make everybody's lives the same. You don't see everybody in the scriptures being a prophet. Everybody in Israel is not a prophet. Everybody can't prophesy. Everybody in Israel can't teach. It's not everything set up. Everybody got administration. Everybody got jobs. Everybody not the same. Know your idleness. If you see the things that you idle with, guess what? Get your butt from them because you already know the next step is going into idolatry. Idleness is going to go into idolatry. These things is going one and the same, man. This is what some of our God be trying to get us to do. Psalm 97. We're almost out of here. Let's start from the top out.
This is the book of Psalms, chapter 97, and verse 1. The Lord reigneth, let the earth rejoice.
He said, the Lord reigneth, let the earth rejoice, man. Read on.
Let the multitude of isles be glad thereof.
He said, let the multitude of isles be glad thereof. Jump down to verse 5.
Verse 5. Let the hills melt like wax at the presence of the Lord.
Read.
At the presence of the Lord of the whole earth.
Of the Lord of the whole earth. Read on, Doc.
The heavens declare his righteousness.
And
all the people see his glory.
Read.
Confounded be all they that serve graven images.
He said, confounded be all them that serve graven images, man. Read.
They boast themselves of idols. Worship him, all ye gods.
So all these people that's thinking of themselves to being gods, guess what, man? We got to turn, guess what, and start worshiping the true God, man. Get ourselves on one accord with him. Guess what, man? It takes nothing. Like you say, you on the phone all day long. Guess what, man? Just download your Bible app on your phone, man. Go through some of these precepts, man. It ain't hard to do. It's easy, man. Go through some of these, just download your little thing. You know, get you highlighting some of these things. These things help you get through your day. You see how these things just help you get through your day. You on the phone all day. You go all day long. Them ain't no more precepts. Keep on highlighting.
Read verse 7 again.
This is how we need to start thinking, man.
Verse 7 from the top. Confounded be all they that serve graven images, that boast themselves of idols.
So how many times have brothers and sisters done confounded brothers and sisters on Christmas about the history? And they trying to kick some knowledge to us, and then we bring out the knowledge of the Bible. How many times have brothers and sisters done ran off confounded? You literally asking them, brother, don't you know the history behind Christmas? And that thing confound them solely, man. Like we say, even when they showing them in the book of Jeremiah chapter 10, it's constantly showing you. Guess what? Don't do those things. And like we said, that's in the Old Testament. So it was the same thing even when you get to the New Testament. They all confounded. Go ahead, Al.
I'm trying to get to the end. That mug ain't got to the end yet. That's how it's supposed to be. All the things you highlight, you're supposed to still keep on. Look at this. I'm trying to get to the end. I don't even know where the end started. Because this is how your day's supposed to go. You sitting up here, you thinking, brother, looking at something. Brother sitting up here reading all day. Yeah. And they help you get through your day. You thinking it don't, but these things help you grow. Brothers want to know how to, retain precept. These things, guess what? Stay grounded, man. Stay grounded, man. Every time you see yourself, guess what? When you ride down the street, guess what, man? Hey, if you got your phone listening to your phone, guess what, man? Pop in there. Hey, listen to KJV audio, man, and start listening. Ground yourself in these things so we won't be idle, man. Let's go to Tobit, man. 14. And verse 5.
This is the book of Tobit, chapter 14, and verse 5. And that again, God will have mercy on them and bring them again into the land where they should build a temple, but not like to the first.
But not like to the first. Read on.
Until the time of the age be fulfilled. And afterwards they shall return from all places of their captivity and build up Jerusalem gloriously.
Read.
And the house of God shall be built in Salakia. And the house of God shall be built in it forever with a glorious building.
Read.
As the prophets have spoken thereof.
All the prophets have spoken, man, of this glorious Jerusalem to come. Read.
And all nations shall turn and fear the Lord and fear the Lord God truly, and shall bury their idols.
Read.
So shall all nations praise the Lord, and his people shall confess God.
Read.
And the Lord shall exalt his people.
And the Lord's going to exalt his people. Read.
And all those which love the Lord God in truth and justice shall rejoice, showing mercy to our brothers.
Showing mercy to all the brethren, man. This is what we got to get back to, man. We got to get down and get rid of the idolatry spirit, get rid of the idleness that we got in our mind. Start giving the Most High God our time, man. Showing them how great, guess what, man? It's our job when we send to let our light shine is to show the world how great we and how perfect we must walk to make it to the kingdom of heaven. Because the scripture said the righteous is going to scarcely make it in, man. So we got to show the world by our actions, man, to show them how great we got to be. Get away from these pagan holidays and pagan traditions, man. Let the Most High God shine his light down on us, man. And with that, we're going to say shalom. Said, keep the law, statutes, and commandments. So, go to Exodus. Chapter 20. And verse 3.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
Read that again.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
The Lord said don't have no other gods before him, man. Read.
Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image.
He said we should not make any graven images, man. But he's going to clear it up, man. Read.
Or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above.
Because the heathen are dismayed at them. Read.
Or that is in the earth beneath.
Read.
Or that is in the water under the earth.
This is the point. When you making graven images, to do what?
Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them.
So guess what? That's what a lot of times people make these images do, to bow down themselves to these images, man. Read.
Nor serve them.
Nor serve them. Read.
For I, the Lord thy God, am jealous. Am a jealous God. Visiting the iniquity of thy fathers upon the children, unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me,
Him that hate him, man. Read.
and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me,
Uh-huh.
and keep my commandments.
And with that, we're gonna say shalom.
Long.
Oh.